So you're thinking about moving to Bend, Oregon, and you want to live right on the Deschutes River where all the action is in the summertime and the wintertime? Well, look no further than where we're going to be touring today. We are just to the north of the old Mill District and to the south of downtown Bend. So if this video sounds like it's for you, stick around. We're going to be getting after this vlog style tour of this very historic and unique neighborhood right now.
If this is your first time on the channel and you'd like to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, playing, the good and the bad of Bend, Oregon and the surrounding areas, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about what the heck's going on around here. Whoa! My name is Zach Dunner. This is Ryan Ruloff, both licensed brokers with eXp Realty in the state of Oregon. We get calls, texts, and emails every day from people just like you looking to make the move here to Bend, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, schedule a Zoom meeting on Calendly. We'd love to connect with you and help you make the move here. So in today's video, we are going to look at the Mill Addition to Mill Addition. It's really hard to say. Mill Addition Subdivision.
It's a good little rhyme.
Yeah.
Zach was a rapper back in high school.
It's 112. Can we stop and get on with the video? It's 112 home sites. 32 of them sit right along the big Deschutes River, historic river here in town. Some of them have boat docks, everything else. You can't have a real boat, but like rafts and kayaks and stuff like that. So we're super excited to show you this neighborhood. So we're gonna get after it right now.
So we just traversed down from where we parked, Columbia Park. It's on the west side of the river, and now we're actually coming across this footbridge. Right here on the Deschutes River, there are dozens of home sites that run up and down on the left and right side of the river, east and west, and it's really one of the most remarkable areas all in town that the river goes right through. This is the primary stretch of river right here. We'll just pan around and show you guys some of the homes that are right on the river. It's pretty remarkable, but this is where the hundreds, if not thousands of people are floating the river every day during the summertime. The spillway where the surfer park is just upstream a little ways, and then downstream a little ways is going to be Drake Park, the downtown area. So we are right in between the old Mill District and the downtown area with all these homes on both sides of the river, and it just makes for a very unique lifestyle right here in the center of Bend on the river.
So we were talking about, Ryan, keep walking, let's go.
Keep panning around. Zach's got some factoids to share.
So homes in here, I mean, this is one of the most exciting, most exclusive places in town. Home prices, median home price per square foot is about $950 a square foot. So huge home prices, right? So you'll find some small homes. I don't think in the last 2 years anything sold in here for under $800,000. And I mean, when we're talking $800,000, we're talking a tiny home that needs to be completely remodeled, gutted. Homes on the river, there's an active home for sale right now for almost $4 million. It is a new, beautiful home. It was probably built 5-10 years ago. Very contemporary looking, sits right on the river, absolutely gorgeous.
I don't want to interrupt too badly.
Yeah, you do.
But look over here. Zach actually took a pickleball lesson yesterday, and there is a pickleball court on the other side of this fence right here. Pretty unique. Zach actually is a competitive pickleball player.
That is untrue. I do like to play pickleball, but not very competitively. Back to the
Don't sell yourself
back to the program here, but like we were saying, there's 32 home sites in this subdivision that sit on the river, and that is the most prime, some of the most prime real estate in Bend. It's very quiet down here. You are incredibly close to the old mill and to downtown. There's sidewalk that'll take you to both directions, very close to the amphitheater. Homes in here, you'll find small homes, large homes. You'll find some stuff that's 800 square feet, and you'll find some stuff that's 3,500 square feet. Those are usually homes that have been built recently. Somebody bought a property, demolished the home that was built on there in 1920, and built a big, beautiful house. You don't find many of the homes that are original here that are very large. They're usually pretty small. This neighborhood was platted in 1915, so very close to the very beginning of Bend. This is obviously, people are like, we're moving to town, and they're like, hey, we want the best spots, right? And the lot was probably $500 at the time. Wish we could find some of those now.
That'd be amazing.
But something else you find down here a lot of is type 1 short-term rental permits.
Yeah.
So in Bend, there was a point in time, I think it was probably 15 years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago, when Bend sat down and said, hey, we're getting way too many short-term rental homes. It's depleting our long-term rentals, and we're getting full streets of homes that are not lived in. So they created some rules. They grandfathered anybody that was already into the program, and they had a short-term, an STR, first generation permit essentially, which is transferable. You buy the house, you get that permit. Now, the type 2 STR is non-transferable. There's a lot of rules that go into this. You can't have one within 500 feet of another, but in this area, you actually find a lot that are side by side because people had put those into place and were grandfathered in. So you'll see a lot of these places, they'll have a little plaque that says the River Cottage, or whatever they're calling it. There's a lot of short-term rentals right here, but if you can find an STR1 rental permit, it's very valuable, especially if it's on the river here.
Yeah, these homes to our left, we're walking by right now. I mean, they're all going to be right on the river, and like Zach said, they're going to be anywhere from like 800 square feet all the way up to maybe 3,000, depending on when they were either built or renovated. But they're right on the river, and so they go for $700-800 a night typically, and even like in peak season in the summertime can go even much higher than that. It's just a really unique area to be in Bend if you're coming here to visit. Very popular area, like we talked about earlier. Floating the stretch of the river is the primary area. So there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people that will cruise down the river where we were just on that footbridge on a daily basis. And then where we are in proximity to, say, like downtown or the old Mill District, we're just, a very short drive. Or if it's getting there without the use of a car, it's just a few minutes. And so we are right in the center of all the action here in town. And that's one of the things that makes this particular neighborhood so popular, very historic. We've done some vlogs on other similar style neighborhoods, but not so close to the river. And so this is what makes this one kind of stand out apart from all the other neighborhoods, kind of within range of where we're at right now. But again, the river has always been kind of like the keystone to what made Bend what it is back in the early 1900s, mid 1900s, etc. is the river, its proximity. The reason why Bend became what it is for the mills, but now it's really growing up, and we're seeing the effects of it with tourism and the modern day of what Bend has become.
The road that Ryan and I are on right now will literally take you from the old Mill District all the way to Drake Park, which then leads into downtown. Right where we're standing right now, I can see where people get in and out of the river. It's usually the last stop. If you started your float in the old mill and then you float to the end of Drake Park, it takes about an hour, and we are looking right at where it dumps you out. You get out, there's a bus that'll come by. I think it comes by every 30 minutes or something, picks people up with their rafts, takes them back to the old mill. Really, really cool little setup that they have. When we grew up here, nobody floated the river. It wasn't a thing. They've put a ton of money into the infrastructure of making it safer to float. There's a wave that you can surf year-round here. Really cool.
Behind us, yep.
As we walk by, you'll see there's some magnificent homes that sit on one of the most beautiful stretches of water anywhere for hundreds of miles. This is an amazing, amazing place to live. If I had my choice of anywhere to live in Bend, it would be one of these houses on the left of us right now.
At the time of this recording, it's early January, so it's the new year, it's the dead of winter. Happy New Year, everybody. But the sun is still kind of peeking through the clouds. It was a little drizzly, rainy earlier in the day, but ultimately the sun still always tries to come out and break through those clouds, it seems like, here in Bend. And that's the case today. It's probably 46 or 47 degrees, so anybody that's considering relocating from warmer climates, the winters are not that bad. We will get snow at some point in time. I know we keep driving that that concept home, it will come. But ultimately, the days are just not that bad here in the winter time in Bend. Sun's out, it's beautiful, and it's pleasant to be outside. There's a lot of people outside enjoying the outdoor amenities of Bend, even in the dead of winter that is January in Bend, Oregon.
The other part that's really cool about the Mill Addition here is that even though there's 112 home sites, only 32 of them are on the river. Because of the proximity to the old mill in downtown, like the places even off the river are so desirable, because I mean, you can traverse right downtown or right to the old mill. If you want to see Jack Johnson play a concert and then eat at Boss Taurus later that night, or vice versa, very easy to do without the use of a vehicle. And the homes here are historic. You've got a lot of homes. If you get off the river a little bit, there's a lot of homes with basements. We've talked about this several times. Bend, newer construction, you really rarely see basements. A lot of these houses that are older, they put basements in, and I don't know if that's because the developers and the builders that were here before, that's just how they built when they moved here, or if this area has a little softer soil. But throughout most of Bend, we have a ton of rock, and it's really hard to dig. So you get crawl spaces for the most part, but you don't get big basements. Down here, we've got a lot of basements.
We're about 3 minutes from downtown, 2-3 minutes from like the Galveston Avenue corridor, about 3 minutes from the old Mill District. So you get a sense of what this neighborhood's all about here, with its location and proximity to all things that Bend is famous for. As far as more of a macro landscape, we're about a 30-minute drive from the airport, maybe a 25-minute drive from Mount Bachelor. And so it's right in the center of basically everything. There are neighborhood restaurants within this little area that we're in right now, so you can get there on a Saturday or Sunday morning, not have to drive anywhere. It's just very unique in that regard. So very popular area in terms of its location and the offerings that this particular little neighborhood is giving up to anybody that chooses to relocate to this part of town. And that's what makes this particular area just so desirable.
Yeah, it has a ton of character, right? So a lot of newer neighborhoods, a lot of the homes all look alike. Here, that is not the case. There's not one home you walk by that looks like the rest of them. All very unique, different landscaping, different elevations of the homes. Some homes that were built in 1915, some that were built in 2020s. Like, it's just such an eclectic collection of homes that really makes it feel kind of like a bigger city, you know, like you're in Portland and you walk around Portland and you get some of those Victorian style homes, and you've got a lot of the beautiful trees, and there's still a lot of building going on. We're walking by this beautiful house that they're building right behind us, and then you've got active culture right down the way. It's a really awesome little restaurant that has what do you call them? Healthy ingredients.
Yeah. We're cruising through here, coming up on Active Culture, which is a natural foods cafe / market right here in the thick of this neighborhood. But that's what makes this particular area so interesting. A commercial building right here to our right. We'll walk through it here in a second. But
growing up, this was an old gas station.
Yeah.
Then a convenience store, and then a French restaurant. And now it's Active Culture.
It's seen some turnover through the years, but it's in a very interesting location, and it gets plenty of business, but for whatever reason it turns over from time to time.
Really cool little community, you know, place to come grab some food that's close by. I mean, not that you need some more stuff close by because you got downtown the old mill right here, but this is like right out your patio, and the food's really, really good here.
And there's multiple little businesses in this particular area. This is kind of like Old Bend right now, one of the 13 distinctive neighborhoods. In fact, we'll have a clip or a card of our playlist of all 13 of those up here in the corner here, so you guys can link to that after this video. But there's multiple of these like little businesses. Jackson's Corner comes to mind, the old taco stand area from way back in the day. That's a little bit further behind us here, but a lot of these little style businesses are in this neighborhood that just kind of pop up here and there, and it just makes this particular neighborhood really unique. And then if you look to our right here, we've got this brand new construction. It's probably renovated construction, but it's brand new construction. It's modern construction.
That is not renovated at all. That's
I haven't looked at it yet. Yeah. Yeah, well, it was torn down, whatever it was before, and now it's brand new construction, but it's going to be a bigger building, much different than what historically is here in this neighborhood.
So this area, one thing you have to look out for is certain areas, because it's so close to the river. There may be areas here that are in either the floodway or a 100-year flood zone that's a little less likely to have a flood. I mean, you get a couple streets away and that's not an issue anymore. Or on the other side of the river, it's kind of up on a cliff. But just something to know, if you're looking to purchase over here, your insurance may be a little bit higher. As we were cruising down the street here, like, it's such, you feel like you're kind of back in time. Like, you get outside of this area and there's so much hustle and bustle, and then you come in here and it's super quiet. You can hear the river kind of slowly floating by. In the summertime, there's so much traffic on that river of people floating, just having a grand time. I love this area. It's one of the neatest, also most historic areas in Bend.
Without a doubt. So that's basically going to wrap up the video of the tour of where we're at right now today. We're kind of like right in the heart of it all, but it's still slightly off the beaten path, just a stone's throw away from downtown, the old mill, the box factory, the west side of Bend, etc. The river goes right through everything here. So pretty interesting area. We're really excited to show you guys what this particular area was all about. So with that being said, we're so glad that you guys are supporting the channel. You're watching these videos. If you haven't done so yet, please like the video, maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. And of course, when it's your time, please reach out to us. It starts with you guys. Call us, text us, email us, set up a Zoom meeting through the Calendly link in the banner or the comment section of each and every one of our videos. And we're just here to say thank you guys for the support.
Thank you guys so much. Let us know if there's anything we can show you. We'd love to meet with you. We'll see you on the next video.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.